Hello everyone and welcome to another Timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at a creativity deck in Timeless format. So few new additions to this deck. We have 4 copies of Mana Drain, letting you able to cast Fable of the Mirror Breakers, Indomitable Creativity on turn 3, Minx Gamboo on turn 3 as well, and even Aatroxa hard casting it on turn 4. So Mana Drain is going to get a lot of value in this deck, but obviously the mana base was a bit tough to crack. One thing to note, you have to fetch very carefully with this deck. All the fetch lands can grab all the Triumphs except the Flooded Strand. The Flooded Strand cannot grab a Zeatora of Proving Ground in order for you to get the domain. So the first thing you should probably do is grab the Rogrin Triumph. And if you have a Flooded Strand in your hand, make sure you use that and prioritize getting the Rogrin Triumph. And with other fetch lands, you can grab the Zeatora's Proving Ground in order for you to get the domain, letting you cast Leyline Binding for just 1 mana. And once you get to turn 4, play a Dwarven Mine from your hand or through your fetch lands as well, and then you can cast your Indomitable Creativity, getting the Aatrox out, and you should be good to go in winning the game. And as for the sideboard, we actually got 2 new additions to the sideboard. With this set, we have 2 copies of Surgical Extraction and 2 copies of Force of Vigor. The Force of Vigor is going to be pretty nice against Blood Moon decks. So now we don't even need to have basics in the sideboard to bring the Blood Moon matchup. And we also got 3 copies of High Noon, which is going to be extremely helpful versus Storm decks and Show and Tells. So having said that, I'm going to be hopping over to some Timeless Best of 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Well, I'll try keeping it. I don't know if it's actually that great of a hand. I mean, maybe. Since I don't have any plays next turn, I'll just play out the Sacred Foundry like this. Ooh. Okay. That's a good card. Is it a Zeatora or what's going on here? If I grab the Zeatora, that means I can Minx Gamboo later. What the? Main deck? I think I have to grab the Rogrin Triumph. How much do I care about a Voice of Resurgent right now? If I go Blood Crypt and play Fable, maybe that's actually a lot better. And then this turn I can go Swords plus hold up a Binding. Galissa. Honestly, I think we keep all these. So Swords you. Bolt you. Attack. Leave up a Binding. Fiend Artisan. So we got a Mana Drain. If they want to block, that's fine. Okay. Gonna play the Minx Gamboo. The reason why I didn't attack with the Minx Gamboo, play the Minx Gamboo first, is because I wasn't sure if this was actually gonna be able to attack. They could get rid of this, and if I play the Minx Gamboo, I don't have Mana Drain up. Okay, very nice. It seems like they are a pretty creature heavy deck. I think having Sarah's Emissary is gonna go pretty well for us. Probably just call creature and be done with it. I'll still have a copy of an Aatrox, I think. Let's go down on Spell Pierce. How is Rest in Peace? They play Fiend Artisan. Maybe Sunset Revelry is just good enough. We'll bring a copy of a Sunset Revelry. Okay, excellent. Just a lot of removals. Giver of Runes. Oh, that's kind of a yikes, actually. Okay, this situation kind of sucks because I have to do this. I didn't want to grab this, obviously, because of mana drain. I think we take the 2, because they could have another Thalia, right? Okay, these cards just suck playing against it. I'll grab a Steam Vent. And we'll get rid of that as well. Okay, lands, where are you? We are playing a 24 land deck. We are playing a 24 land deck. Whenever I complain about lands, it's always the 24 land decks that I complain about the most. I never have issues with lands whenever I play like 18 land decks. But it's always the ones where you have too many lands in the deck for this kind of situation to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Wow, we found a land! We found it! Might be too late though. I'll have to take additional 3 damage. They could have a natural order. Wow. The lands are coming. Can they deal 2 damage somehow? Go down to 2? So I shock in this Blood Crypt, and we can play the Leyline Binding for 2 and hold up a mana drain. I think that's actually worth it. Yep. Okay, that was not worth it. Wait, why did it let me... You passed the turn! Wait, they cast Bajuka Bog? I'm gonna cast Leyline Binding in response. Okay, I think we're dead. Right, I think we're dead. Unless... Oh my god, we're 1 off. Yeah. That's so bad. Okay, I'll bring more Sunset Reveries this time. Yep. Oh, that's tempting. Because I think if we can get the creativity down, we just kind of win the game. Give her up runes. That's their turn 1. Just gonna kill this instantly. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, okay, we might be able to just win next turn. Potentially. I'll take the 2. Bajuka Bog, yep. Okay, they're holding on to Orcish Bowmaster, so I guess we can creativity. I guess we're just playing a Fable here. I'm gonna hold on to this Dwarven Mine. There's no point playing this. Wait, they... Oh, I could have even played it because they actually played this on my first main phase. I didn't even... Yeah, I didn't even look at the state of the game. Okay, give her runes. My opponent is tapped out. I don't wanna sacrifice anything. Would they block? I guess it's the same outcome. Let's see. They let it through. Dwarven Mind. So one of them called Creature. Oh, okay, the other one I got Atroxa. Sorcery. Land. Mana Drain. Actually, we can't even cast Mana Drain at the moment. I mean, we're gonna be able to. We just need to fetch a Steam Vent. And we'll grab another Binding. Okay, that's enough to win the game. Wow, that's a lot of lands. Am I going first? I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see. Field of Ruin. Mono black, huh? Mono black. Zeotora is tempting, but we could get Mana Drain next turn. Okay. Your turn. So they have a Bowmaster, but they passed. Sure. So what happens if I play the Oko here? I feel like it's relatively safe. Just a Bowmaster coming down, right? Is it not?
I will invert the world to watch kings grovel and worms rule.
Wow. Okay, my bad. I guess that was a mistake.
Welcome to the feast.
Retrofitter. Okay. Retrofitter. So I think my opponent has a Bowmaster. So I think we just go Blood Crypt into creativity. We'll grab creativity. A land. Binding. We don't want to grab the Atroxa, right? Yeah, we don't. I mean, they just used March for a pretty fat value last time. X equals 6. Exiling both of these. They do play a Liliana, so if they actually have a Liliana, they can actually kill this. Yep. We actually do not have a single basic. We do not. Oko. Pretty good. Yep, let's just play Oko. Okay, Retrofitter is incredibly interesting in that deck. Also, Liliana, pretty bad versus me. I wonder how, like, good one's Force of Vigor is. They have Retrofitters. Most likely Necropotence as well. Needle's just gonna be good. Needle's just gonna be good. Maybe just Force of Vigor is not that great. Maybe another target in case they like extract, surgical extract, like Thoughtseize into surgical extract. Having a copy of Sarah's Emissary makes it so that our creativity isn't like entirely dead all the time. Swords, I think, could go out. I could play surgical if I wanted to. Probably not. If they're a combo deck, we can just play we could get High Noon into the mix as well next game. Like if it's actually a mono black storm. Dark Ritual. Necropotence. Okay, so it is that kind of deck. It is that kind of deck. Let's see how they're gonna like our turn 1 Pitting Needle. It's a lot of life. Thoughtseize, yup. Grafdigger's Cage. So there's a bit of a misconception going around with the, this card, apparently. Grafdigger's Cage does not stop creativity, because creativity actually puts the card into the exile. Oh, they play Reanimate. Okay, so we got another Oko. I think it's Dwarven Mine. And maybe a Bolt. We'll see if I want to crack this Wooded Foothill or not. Because we might... I guess they have a Thoughtseize now. They discarded the Binding into a Pithing Needle, which I could just Spell Pierce. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to play this Oko right now, but... Sure, fine. You got me. Funny thing is, I couldn't play this Oko anyways. I can't play the swords right now. Don't have the mana. Do not have the mana. We might actually die. Right? They're gonna be able to attack with 5 damage each turn. And we draw an Aatroxa. Maybe I should have thought about just keeping the Dwarven Mine. Because now if we even top deck... Wow. We actually lost. Even after hitting Needling their Necropons away. Let's have a Force of Vigor. They have a lot of artifacts and enchantments. Okay. Decent enough. Raft Digger's Cage. They still do not know. My opponent still does not know. Which is great. Force of Vigor. Might be kind of tricky getting this Oko down. Retrofitter. Short. Okay. I think we just slam down Oko, right? Because of Field of Ruin, they can't even play Necropons next turn.
Twirl and curl, choking out lies.
So they have March again. Are they willing to get rid of their entire hand for this Oko?
I think a little merriment is in order.
Ashiok.
Wonder what you feel. I leave you with one.
Okay, one of the Aatroxa's gone.
Surely you see the humor here.
You strike out of fear.
We'll keep this one for Ashiok to get rid of. And we'll just keep spamming the board with creatures. Wait, doesn't this also stop them from reanimating unless they don't have reanimates? They're trying to march the Oko. No. They probably they're using it just to concede. Okay. It makes sense. Yeah. They probably knew that they must know that the reanimate gets stopped by the Grafdigger's Cage. They just did it because they have so many dead cards in their hand. Oh my god. 24 land deck, by the way. 24 land deck, by the way. Insane. I think I go Ziatora. If not, the only reason why I'm doing this, the only reason why I played this, is because they could Ragavan me. It's a potential. I've been had by the Ragavan a couple times, so. But this is a mana drain mana. Oko. That's pretty good. How do we put Oko and Fable in a single turn? Guess we gotta find our mana drain of our own. Soren's Ransom? That kinda sucks. I don't want to see a Bowmaster. So I guess if you want to take another Soren's Ransom, you have to get that instead of the Bowmasters. Maybe I should also like try jamming our cars. Yeah, I think I'm gonna binding here.
I'm always.
Hmm. Yeah, this is actually not that great. So we're not in a good spot. Oh man. Might be a bit of a game over here situation. Because they're holding on to mana drain, like this binding will never hit the Valkyrie, right? That's the kind of situation we're in. I don't know how we're gonna be able to kill this Valkyrie. It was a counter spell. I think we need to like... Yeah, this is I think this might be game over. It actually might be game over. Do do do.
Yes, bleed.
We did get a creativity, but the problem is they're just gonna exile the creature. My opponent can just exile the creature. Well, here goes nothing. Leave up a mana for binding. If this gets countered, we'll just... Yeah, let's just get out of here. How do we put pressure so that that doesn't happen? I mean, I guess we can just Pithing Needle. It's like 1 mana. Stop a Tybalt. Let's bring some surgical extracts as well. Swords is awful. And we'll just go with this. Okay. On the other hand, that's... I feel like it's kind of awful. Maybe we need more spell pierces in the sideboard. I guess land isn't like awful right now. Surgical could be nice. We play out our like Oko, and then it gets countered. We surgical their counterspell or mana drain, and then we Indomitable Creativity. Yeah, honestly, this matchup seems absolutely awful. Funny thing is, surgical was actually on top. Funny, funny. So I think we just start jamming our cars in. Yeah, I think we just jam our cars in. Because even if it gets mana drained, unless they want to tap out, they can't actually like... Oh, that actually stuck. Interestingly enough. Seems like it's a Bowmaster. Like, what are they gonna do, right? They're just gonna lure in revealed? Like, they're not gonna do that, so... I felt like it was kind of safe to Oko there.
Why do you cross me?
Well, so we know that they're not holding on to potential counter spell. It could be a 3-mana counter spell, though. Okay, it's not. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. They didn't have a counter spell last time. Test of talent, so that's why the Oko was able to land. Okay, makes sense. It's not the end of the world because we could just hardcast it with Mana Drain in the future. So you're telling me if I just played Minx Cambu, we would have just won the game. Interesting. Okay, opponent, wombo combo.
You're a trick.
Actual wombo combo.
Gaze into
They might be able to kill the
the
Oko now because of that.
shape.
Yeah, that sequence actually might have caused me to lose the game if they can get rid of this 3/3, but I'm not sure if they actually play any more creature removal spells after seeing my deck last game. Also, if there is next game, maybe we can start just jamming all the planeswalkers. Now that we know that they play like Test of Talents and stuff.
I think a little merriment is in order.
I'll just play the Fable out. There's that Mana Drain. We'll sit back again. They're probably gonna get back the Mana Drain and probably sit back. Get the Loris back and just pass the turn. Test of Talent. Drown. Good for me. I think I need to kill this because if a Bowmaster comes down one, yeah, I think that we just kill this thing. They can't counter.
Quite the nibble.
Yeah, it would be really nice if we had surgicals. You know? Would have been actually pretty nice there.
Surely you see the humor here.
So they have to let this go. They can't counter this. Because otherwise Minx Cambu comes down. Like, you just can't do that. Nice. Okay, so they play Test of Talent. Maybe it's actually pretty good to have some rest in peace. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like Surgical is just a better card to have around instead of a Rest in Peace against that deck. Because this is a 0 mana card, and if they could just counter the Rest in Peace as well. We bring both of them in. I don't know. Maybe like I'm already pretty light on removals. Yeah, I think we just go. Wait, why do I have Pithing Needle? Oh. Yes, yeah. The Tybalt. I'll probably call Jace with this. I'm like, why do I have Pithing Needle? Like, that's so random. But I forgot they played Jace. Jace the Reawakened. Okay, we'll just go Robber and Triumph with this one. I wonder if they would counter my Pithing Needle though. Yeah, I don't know. Surgical Extraction also was on top. Like, I just doubt that they would counter this. Would they really counter this? Yeah, I didn't think so. You know, a card that would actually be pretty sick? Spell Snare in the sideboard. Against decks like this. Okay, that's a lot of 3-mana cards. Cling to Dust. Land would be so sweet. A blue land. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Mana Drain. Spell Pierce. Lovely. Fatal Push. That's fine. Man, Fable, what a card. What a card Fable is. They didn't flash an Orcish Bowmaster. Okay, well, let's try that again. Archmage Charm. Sure. They decided to use Archmage Charm instead of Mana Drain. Right? Play around Spell Pierce. Infinite Fables. Infinite Fables. And Fable is just such a good card versus a control deck, isn't it? Like, it's kind of ridiculous. It is kind of ridiculous. Okay. Brainstorm. Ooh, that's really good. Wait, they do it on that? Okay. Fine. I'll attack. Wait, they double block? I was for sure they were gonna... What? But why? Why did you double block? Okay, my opponent actually got me. I was gonna let them block one, and then I lightning bolt one, so that they'd have to use a counter spell. That's insane what they did there. Bravo. That was actually pretty well played. Okay, so they're looking for a spell pierce. You're not gonna be able to get spell pierce. No. There's just no happening. You're not gonna be able to get spell pierce. No. No way. No chance. You're not allowed to get a spell pierce here. There's only 2 in the deck. Only 2 in the deck. Nice. Okay, so that's what happens when an opponent has a bunch of Test of Talents and we have a bunch of Kiki-Jikis and Planeswalkers. Okay, what the heck happened to my sideboard? Okay, restarting. Okay, so having played this deck, first and foremost, I do quite like this deck a lot, but it is extremely weak to Blood Moon. So you have to watch out for Blood Moon. So we have 2 copies of Force of Vigor. I'm not sure if that's actually gonna be enough. The thing is, right? The thing is, you could play like a copy of a plane, copy of a forest in the sideboard, but that's just going to lose you the game like more than it loses the Blood Moon deck, because Blood Moon decks, it's not very common, you know? Like, do you want to put 4 cards in the sideboard just to get rid of a Blood Moon? I don't think so. One thing you could do instead of a Force of Vigor, one thing you could do is play Strike It Rich. It doesn't get rid of Blood Moon per se, but this generates a treasure, which could let you cast Leyline Binding in the future. So that's another tech you could try. But I just have 2 copies of Force of Vigor here for now. It's just the Blood Moon decks are pretty rare, because the thing is, like, not only does it take up a sideboard slot if you put planes and a forest and 2 enchantment removals, so that's 4 slots it's taking. But it's also gonna like ruin your mana base in game 2 and 3. That could also like let's say your opponent doesn't draw Blood Moon, and you just kind of ruined your mana base by fetching a plane and a forest. Like, that could just lose you the game in a lot of the games when an opponent's not playing a Blood Moon. Mana Drain. Although Mana Drain is incredible for this deck, you could cast a Fable, early Creativity, like turn 3 Creativity, early Minx Gambu. You could even hard cast Aatroxa on turn 4. The Mana Drain does quite a bit for this deck. It's just that this session we didn't really see that happen. But in theory, if you played with Mana Drain, it should be good. The mana base is quite hard when it comes to casting the Mana Drain. It was very difficult to fit in 3 copies of Steam Vents and 2 copies of Thundering Falls, but I think it was okay. I feel like we were able to consistently cast Mana Drain, and if we weren't going to be casting Mana Drain, we always had something to do. So, yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.